Today's video is sponsored by BetterHelp.com, and I've been with them for a long time. BetterHelp is an online platform where we found that you can effectively communicate with your therapist. Now, you begin by filling out a questionnaire, and then you'll be matched with a therapist within a couple of days. And if that match isn't ideal for you, you can certainly make an adjustment there. Now, you're going to be encouraged to journal, and also they have the availability for group therapy on a wide array of topics, and I really like that. So as the need exists, go ahead and take the necessary steps to get the help that you need. And just know that BetterHelp has a 4.5 rating on Trustpilot, so it indeed is a platform you can trust. There's a link below the video that will take you there. Hey there, Team Healthy. Glad to have you for another episode of Unbound. Keep in mind that this series is where I take questions and comments that have been sent in by you, and I make my remarks on it. So if you have any, go ahead and send them right in, and who knows, it might be on your on another episode somewhere in the future. There's an interesting dynamic that I know that many of you deal with as you are trying to figure out this whole topic of narcissism, and that is, I'm assuming anyway, that most of you are here because you want to learn. You're here because you realize, there's something inside my life, there's something inside my world that is not going exactly the way I want, but I want to see if I can be a part of the healthy dynamic that's going to take us in a good direction. In other words, you're open-minded and you're curious and you're eager to move forward. And then what happens is, you can look at that narcissistic person or those people or that system in your life, and you can say, I know from my own personal experience that change can happen. Surely you'd like to join me. I'd like to teach you. I'd like to expose you to some teaching that I've had. Please join me. Well, that's what we're going to be getting into here. The question that we have is, are narcissists teachable, or are they just completely given over to their ways? Now, I've got three different questions here along these lines or examples, so I want to get right into it. We've got a lot to discuss here today. The first person writes in and says, how can you coach someone from becoming a narcissist? My church has an intensive course on becoming a whole person, and I found it to be amazing and life-altering. I have a friend who could definitely benefit from it, but you've stated that narcissists are not self-aware. Okay, how can you coach someone to not become a narcissist? Well, first, that person has to want to change. It's the old saying, how many psychologists does it take to change a light bulb? And the answer is just one, but the light bulb has to want to change. That one. There are certain key ingredients that you're going to be able to pick up on that tells you if that friend of yours is in fact coachable or teachable. And you can't put it on the inside. It has to arise from within themselves. The first thing is that person needs to not just identify aspects of their life that need to be different. In order for change to truly happen in a very significant way, we need an extra ingredient. And this may sound a little strange to you, but it's the ingredient of agony. It's one thing for me to say, I've got a bad temper. Yeah, I've got a bad temper. Or it's another thing for me to say, I've got a bad temper, and as I look at it, it's eating me alive. I know that this is something that has been ruinous to me and to many people in my life. I don't like it when I go into that kind of space. That's what I mean when I say you agonize over something. When a person just identifies something intellectually, that's one thing. But when there's this extra emphasis that says, there's something inside of me that is deeply troubling, I want to get to the root of it, that's a good sign. Or another sign that says that this person could be coachable is they want to be you need them to be an ongoing student of the human condition. In other words, rather than saying, well, I went to a course, it was really interesting. Well, when I say a student, I'm thinking, well, it's more than one course. I'm in my 70s now, and I started my journey way back in my late adolescence, and I've been to all sorts of courses and seminars, and I've led them. I've been in various accountability kind of groups through the years. I absolutely love it, and I read vociferously. And I'm thinking, well, I'm on my way, but I still have more to learn. Does that person have an ongoing lifestyle that says, life is a learning part. I'm never going to know enough. I want to keep knowing more. So in other words, you don't want to take a course like this and say, it's one off, now I'm cured. Another indicator that says that that person would really be coachable is that they would commit themselves to a support group and ongoing accountability. And then in addition, and this kind of undergirds everything, that person would need to have a sustained attitude of humility, which kind of goes along with some of the agony. When we say humility, it's like, I know that there's something inside of me that needs to be adjusted. The world is definitely not all about me. You folks out there don't owe me a whole lot like I used to think in the past. When you have those kind of ingredients on an ongoing, sustained basis, then we might say things are looking up. But you can't force that. Let's go to another question here. This person, it's a mother or father, says, when a young adult is unteachable, is that the start of narcissism? I recently did an Unbound topic on how early in life does narcissism begin. My daughter was such a person. She was a good pupil at school and a good student at university because she was and still is ambitious. Is the combination of those traits, ambitiousness at school or work while demonstrating a bad temper at home, a sign of narcissism? There's a whole lot here that's, we need to fill in the gaps. But one of the things that we can say about narcissism is that it's, you've heard me use the term public angel, private demon. The false self can be fully in charge. And the false self knows, okay, when I'm around certain people, I want them to have a good impression of me, and I want to make sure that I look the part of the ultimate successful person. But then behind the scenes, when you have this raging temper and you're surly and you can't get along with each other, that's the real self, or at least evidences of that. So we need to make sure that that this young lady, as she is going into her adult efforts and all, realizes life is much more than just making a good impression. Narcissists focus on externals. They can be very achievement oriented, they can be performance oriented, or they can they want to look pretty or handsome, and they want to give the appearance that says I've got it all together. But the externals are merely that. Truly, if a person is going to change, they need to start from the inside out. Character development and integrity. And the only way that this daughter of yours is going to make any kind of adjustment is to realize there's something inside my character that's in continual need of examination. And it goes back to that first one where is the friend that wants to go to a course, are they teachable? This daughter needs to also have the notion that says, I want to make sure that despite all of the externals, that I've got a handle on who I am from the inside out. And this is, again, something I'm going to be concentrating on for the rest of my life. Now, we got a third one here, and this is kind of an interesting one. This person says, a close friend surprised us by confessing to a long-term affair. Now, when you say long-term, that means they're all the way in as far as I'm concerned. And this person goes on and says, now he's in a recovery group and is strongly rethinking his lifestyle habits. Okay, good for you. He talks a lot about regret and change. My question is, can I trust this? He's very convincing. Now, I'm focusing on this word convincing. Now, there are two different ways that you can be convincing. You can be convincing by verbally talking a good game. Hey, let me tell you what's going on, and let me explain to you how everything's different. Okay, that doesn't really impress me a whole lot. Or you can be convincing behaviorally. In other words, you just quietly go on about your business without having to draw too much attention to everything. And it's like, I know that my credibility is shot, and I know that the only way that I can regain my credibility is for a long-term road back to good character and integrity. I compromise my integrity greatly, and so I know that a lot of people are going to be skeptical for a long time, and I have the patience to let it go. Now, let that be. So when you ask, is this trustworthy? My question is, well, Is this person going to stay in recovery, and is this person going to make lifestyle adjustments and attitudinal adjustments a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? What about restitution, and what about offering the proper kind of amends to other individuals that have been hurt through the process? Are they willing to do that, and to put actual behaviors to their apologies like that? And so really the proof is in the long-term mindset. I go back and say, when people have, I'm not in favor of any affairs, but when people have the long-term affairs, those are the ones that it's like, oh boy, that really raises the red flag. And I don't know what this person means by long-term, 3 months, 3 years, I'm not sure. But that implies I was totally committed to secrecy and phoniness and manipulation and exploitation, and I was all in. And so they'd have to be super honest about all of that. So we might ask the question, are narcissists completely unteachable? And the answer is, well, unfortunately, an extremely high percentage of them don't adjust. When I say extremely high percent, 90%, I don't know. It all depends on, how far down the spectrum they are. But adjustment is not very common. Now, it's possible. And I've shared with you in times past with cases that I've had where some pretty stark difficulties were there. And with that agony and that humility that I'm talking about, it happened with a lot of accountability, etc. But just be realistic as you approach that. And then we go back to what I was saying in my opening comments. I know that you are committed to your own personal growth. Don't get so focused on saying to that person, that narcissistic person, come on, you've got to join me. Consider it a bonus if that person wants to come along with you, but also be realistic. The ingredients that I'm talking about are not something that narcissists typically embrace. It could happen, but I think the main thing is for you to move forward with a sense of reality. Most of them really don't have that level of self-awareness. They think you're the one that's supposed to change. Now, I hope that videos like this can give you some good awareness. And if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, I would encourage you to do so. We're going to keep more of these coming in your direction. Now, I know that when you're dealing with something like this, you could use some help therapeutically. You know that I've been sponsored for years by the people at BetterHelp.com. I'm a retired therapist. Obviously, I believe in it. I gave my entire career to it. And so we have the folks at BetterHelp.com. If you need an online resource, there's a whole team of licensed professional therapists that are there to assist you. You answer a few questions, you select a therapist, and you take off and go. And I'm hoping it can work out well. There's a link below. Please, as the need is there, get the assistance that would be warranted. Now, in addition, I have put together my website, and it's huge. And we have lots of resources. Keep in mind that I have a deep history of writing and seminars and public speaking and things like that. And so I've taken that to the website. We have my online courses that have proven to be quite popular. Each one has at least 25 teaching videos along with handouts and guided questions. Anger games, This Is Me About Boundaries, Free to Be, Finding Yourself Despite the Controller, Ready, Set, Connect, How to Have Healthy Connections. We have my 90-minute PowerPoint presentations along with hundreds of articles and my books. So we have lots of resources. Take advantage of that as the need is there. Can narcissists change? The answer is yes, but it's a very, very qualified yes. Most of them don't. A high percentage of them don't. And so I know that you have the desire for that to be the case, but don't be so strongly focused on that you forget your own personal growth needs and focus on who the one person you can do something about. If the narcissist wants to join you with a sense of guardedness, we're going to say, come on and join me. But in the meantime, we're just going to let time show who that person really is. Team healthy, stay steady, find peace. That's what I want for you.